up, y'all? It's your girl, the Benji B. What you watching on TV? All right, so I'm back. It's episode 3, Baddies USA Chapter 2. Let's go. All right. So, this episode opens up, and we are still at the venue with the 5 million motherfuckers in the audience, the 2 million motherfuckers up on the stage, and the 8 million motherfuckers outside. Like, it's just too many people. It's an overabundance of human existence in that place, right? However, when the episode opens up, you know what I left off the end of episode 2? Because all this shit kind of blurred together. Fine, forgive me, whatever. So, when episode 2 ended, which I don't know how I skipped it. It ended with E.T. and Persuasion. You know how they show the fight start and then they do a little blink, blink, blink shit? So that's probably why I didn't mention it. However, when this episode started, we brought back up to that point, right? So Persuasion and E.T., they fighting at the top of this episode. So what I would say about the Persuasion and E.T. fight, like, Persuasion, so I got a lot of respect for people, and I think everybody do, right? Like, I got a lot of respect for people who, maybe they're not necessarily as skilled at their craft as some other people may be at that same thing, but then they still don't duck no smoke, right? I do respect that to some degree, but also there's another part of me where I just be like, you don't have to do this shit. Like, why? Like, you don't have to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I say that to say, Persuasion and E.T. square up. It don't really go one way or the other. The vibe I got from them, matter of fact, this is confirmed later on when they talking. The vibe I got from both of them is that they didn't really want to fight, but they just was kind of going through the motions. So they end up fighting, and then people end up breaking them apart. Then we zoom back over to Tinker and Cold Killer, and Lord, baby, bless her baby heart. Now I told you, Tinker and Fauna had went at it, and it did not go well for Fauna. And then Tinker and Cold Killer had went at it. Now I had told y'all, I mentioned a little bit briefly in the other episode 2, where Tinker popped the shit out of Cold Killer in that eye. She caught her in that eye, and she said, "Okay, bitch, I'm done." Cold Killer was like, "Oh, all right, okay, that's it." I mean, she didn't like literally say that, but you could tell she was like, "Okay, bitch, you got me. Fuck it. I'm all right. I ain't gonna duck no smoke, but the bitch know when is when. You know what I mean?" So this is that fight. I didn't realize this was all the way up in episode 3, but it is. So episode 3, Cold Killer and Tinker they fight, and Cold Killer's eye is injured. And then now we have where then the camera jolts over to where Amber and E.T. is fighting. So now I'm starting to understand why Amber's so on guard. Like, she feel like she want to fight all of the people, like everybody. Amber, the cabaret girl, end up getting into it with E.T., that's Zeus girl. And while they kind of trying to fight, Pressure end up trying to sneak E.T. Like, where the fuck this bitch come from? Next up, I think after E.T. has kind of gotten away, she's kind of pulled away from the whole Pressure and Amber situation. Then Dolly run up to E.T. And then they fight a little bit. I will say Dolly, Dolly got hands. Dolly really got hands. I don't know if it's just because she ain't friends with Summer no more. I don't know if it's because she is cool with Lex. But she got some hands. And so her and E.T., they try to walk it out a little bit. Now, while all of this is going on, I don't really understand how the whole thing with DTB and Fauna started here. I know that when they was at the reunion, initially they got into it at the reunion and fought. DTB's drunk ass was, she was wasted. And so I guess DTB feels some kind of way about that whole thing. So they got like a little beef going on with them or whatever, and it's bound to start back up. But I don't know if Fauna was walking by or if Fauna like threw something at her, or if Fauna walked by, and I feel like DTB like threw something at her or something, and Fauna started talking shit from the side of the stage. Mind you, DTB's still up on the stage, so she don't ever come off the stage, but they had that little exchange, and so now you can feel like the little tension is rising between them. And so, Persuasion and E.T. open this show up with they scuffle. And so they end up talking it out. And this is where, I always kind of liked E.T. Like, it's just something about her. Like, I just like E.T. I think she who she is. She don't look like an actor to me, right? So I already kind of like E.T. But this is where, I think my heart opened up for her. Because, when she was talking to Persuasion, I guess Persuasion had said something about her online or something. I'm still not real clear on what the beef was about. But it do seem like Persuasion was genuine with her. She was basically like, you know, you should have talked to me or whatever. I guess E.T. may have felt like Persuasion was like making fun of her or something like that. And Persuasion, I guess what she said what she said, but I don't think that was her intention. And so basically she was saying, well, you got to talk to me. You should have told me or whatever. And then they end up hugging it out. And that's when E.T. was like, you know, bitch, I fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the words. I can't do the, like how y'all be going back and forth in the talking. She was like, I can't do that. I fight. And so, you know, I think that was very honest. I was like, oh, so I like E.T. Her little feelings was hurt. That's all it was. And Persuasion, she acknowledged that, you know, after that mace. Now, the next weird ass square up we see is where Mariah run up on E.T. I don't know how the fuck. So I would say that I have always liked Mariah as well. But I think recently she been getting on my motherfucking nerves. So Mariah runs up to E.T. and I'm not really sure what that, I guess somebody said some, again, it might be some reunion shit or some online shit or something, but they end up fighting a little bit. And E.T. was really kind of light on her, which she should have been. Because, I mean, that is not a even weight class, right? So they fight, they get that out their system, and they end up hugging, and some of the other girls are watching like, oh, these bitches fake. I think there was some of them girls from the Baddies Gone Wild, you know. They was like, oh, these bitches fake. I mean, well, they squashed their beef, bitch. Like, what you want, you know? But that was weird and very out of place and felt like just some shit to do. Like, what? Now, this is where Tavy and Pressure connect. I don't, you know, I might save that for the end. But I can't understand why Tavy and E.T. had to fight so many motherfuckers at one time. It feel like if you fight and then you stop, you should be able to, like, right? You should be able to, like, catch your breath. But I guess that ain't the name of the game in here. I guess when one bitch that got a beef with you start fighting you, and then the other bitch over here, she got a beef with you, she see that bitch fighting with you, and now y'all done, and she be like, okay, bitch, I'm next. Like y'all lining up, like in a barbecue sandwich line or some shit. I don't understand why Tavy and E.T. had to fight so many motherfuckers back to back to back. That's weird to me. Anyway, I say that to say that Tavy and Pressure end up getting into a squabble. I feel like that was a wash. I can't really, I wouldn't really say neither one of them really just got whooped. Nobody was like more effective than the other one in that one. It's just another one of them debacles where you just like, why are you bitches doing this shit? Like, what are you, like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't give us no explanation. We don't get no estimation. Like, what's going on? Now, this is where we get to where E.T. is kind of shutting down, right? She starts crying, but not crying like boo-hoo crying, like, you know, upset, emotional crying. She's, like, on the side of the thing. So, turns out it's something in her eye. Turns out some mace in her eye. And so, what we find out is that Persuasion, not Pressure, Persuasion put mace on her hands to fight these bitches. Now, I will say, I respect the fact that she admitted to it, right? I do respect that 1,000%. And I don't think that the mace was for E.T. I feel like she had the mace on her hands for, like, Persuasion, because Persuasion is 11 feet tall. And then I guess maybe anybody else that wanted to come for her. I don't think she meant to do that to E.T., but just so happened they end up fighting. And E.T. looked like she was the only one affected by the mace. But they end up whisking E.T. out and trying to get her face cleaned up. And then while her head is down and she's walking, I think production or somebody is walking her out. Then Amber's slow ass runs over and like catch her off guard. She hit her or some shit, but she ain't even really looking. E.T. don't even respond to the shit. She's so distracted, I guess, by not being able to see. She don't even flinch. She just like, bitch, you know. And everybody is like getting on Amber like, bitch, why did you do that? Like, you see that she's like with the medic and shit. Like, this bitch is getting medical help. Like, clearly, like, what are you doing? But Amber she looked apologetic or whatever. She's like, oh, well, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we in here fighting shit. This bitch walking by. We had some smoke, so I was finna go on and handle that right quick, you know. And then TT runs up on Persuasion, which I that's another one I'm lost. I don't even know if I should have did this in separate episodes. I probably should have condensed all this shit into one episode. Because really, this is one event went from, I want to say the end of the second episode to almost the beginning. Well, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad we structured the way we did. But these 2 or 3 episodes was all like one big ass mess. You know what I'm saying? And so you'll hear me say a lot, I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know. I'm watching it. I see it with my eyeballs. but I don't know what's going on because TT then goes after Persuasion to try to fight her. I wouldn't say Persuasion got whooped. I don't think neither one of them got whooped, but it still don't seem like a fair fight. like I think like TT's so little and so quick, like she could discombobulate your ass. You know what I mean? Especially when you of a certain age. Like, but you cannot, like, child. Oh my God. I just don't understand what that was all about. I'm sure again, internet shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, after TT take her shot at Persuasion, Daisy Dukes decides to take her shot at Persuasion. And then Persuasion, bless her heart, she's not no fighter. You can tell she's not no fighter. Now, she didn't run from no smoke, and she's very proud of herself in her little confessional. She was like, bitch, I didn't run from nobody, you know. Like, bitch, maybe you should have. That somehow gets broken up. And then I guess because Daisy was already amped up, and I do know that Daisy had it out for Rolly last season or whatever, she tries to get at Rolly again. Rolly's on the stage, and Rolly is talking to her with her banana and all that. I'm going to leave that to the imagination. But Daisy can't get to Rolly because Rolly is up on the stage. And so Daisy end up getting escorted out. And then what's very weird, y'all, is then they flash this thing on the screen for Daisy because I don't think she going to be on the season no more. Weird. I wrote that shit down. Here's what it says. It says, after events of the first performance day, Daisy's journey on the tour takes an unexpected turn and ends before it fully gets started. Bye, bitch. And then now we get to where Summer finally arrives. So Summer get there, she called out Dolly and Rolly on the stage. Dolly beat her the fuck up again because she beat her the fuck up at the LA house when they first got there. She tagged her ass in. She tags her ass again. Then Ivory shows up. And then Ivory goes straight for Tavy, which was weird. I don't know. I feel like some of these beefs that's going on, I feel like these girls are supposed to be friends. Like, they're just, in my mind, they just friends. Like, you know, and I can't fathom why they don't get along. But Ivory and Tavy, apparently, they don't get along. Because Ivory and Tavy go at it. And Ivory got that one. She did her shit. Ivory did an Ivory on Tavy. Then, I guess after she was satisfied with the damage she had done to Tavy, she then turns her attention over to Pressure. And Pressure gets it. Now, I feel like they fought all in the auditorium, and then they had fought their way through the lobby, and like it was just a bunch of running and jumping and shit, and like, yeah, like Ivory was on that ass. She wasn't letting up off Pressure. Like, that felt like a deep-rooted type of animosity. You know, she was really, she was going at Pressure's ass. And then Summer and Persuasion, they get into a little scuffle. I remember the origin of their whole little thing they had going on at that first rehearsal last season. So I guess from there, they just didn't like each other no more. So they try to fight a little bit. It's a wash. Like, neither one of them is really squabblers like that. Now, this is where Lex and Mariah end up approaching Ciroc, I guess, like in a little lobby area, like where you walk in there before you get to the actual theater. Mariah and Lex approach Ciroc. I guess Ciroc was like talking about who she whooped or something online. I wish I had like a little thing right here you flash online, but we'll worry about that later. Anyway, so Lex and Mariah approach Ciroc. Ciroc and Lex go a couple rounds. They go the first round, it's kind of a draw. And then the second round that they go, Lex actually draws blood. She popped her ass. She popped Ciroc just right in the eye. Bow! Got a cut on her face. I say, Lord, that little legs. Bless her, Lord. That baby is not playing with you big hoes. Now, this is where Tasiki, I guess she make her way to the little thing. Because Tasiki got a beef with Ciroc, too. She comes out to the lobby, and I guess she was going to go next or whatever. But Ciroc is very self-aware. And that bitch is like, She's like, bitch, I'm down for the count. Let me get this together. I have to see you when I see you. Shit, not right now. Because that shit would have been, oh my God. I can't wait to see it. But at the same time, I'm nervous on the inside, you know. Then they take us to a little cutaway to a clip where Nat is performing Do What I Want at Coachella, which I don't give a fuck about. And luckily, it didn't last that long. They showed them doing their little shit, they dance, and they got the little dancers coming out, and the people dance, you know, we don't care. And so we get back to the show now. This is after rehearsals. Rehearsals is over. Rolly is a disgusting failure at facilitating the rehearsals. That's my baby. I love Rolly. But child, girl, she did not do no managing at that shit. But the rehearsals are over. So everybody get a chance to, they show everybody kind of getting ready to perform and they getting ready to go out and have their show. I'll say the show was pretty decent or whatever. I like Dolly came up with a song about, you know, if you don't like Bad Dolly, then fuck you too. I think that's cute. That's Dolly is my boo thing. I love me some Dolly. She another one. I got a lot of favorites on her as I think about it. But the girls perform, the show goes well, and so at the very end, we leave off with, I want to say, kind of as the show was ending, there's like a little bit brewing behind like backstage between DTB and Fauna. So Fauna is backstage in DTB's little dressing room area, and she ain't with shit. She want them to get out, and so Fauna and them was like, bitch, we ain't going nowhere. Like, you know, take it like you want to. They actually get into it pretty bad backstage, and they fight, and they go in a couple circles, and people break them up. And they fight is really goofy in the motherfucker. Like, they both goofy. And so it's hard to take that fight serious between DTB and Fauna. Like, again, this is a couple of girls that's on here, and it looked like they don't really dislike each other or really want to fight, but like, I guess because of whatever reason or to solidify their spot in the area, they got to fight type shit. But that fight was so damn goofy. They hanging on coat racks and shit. Like, it just was ridiculous. And so they end up fighting and security break them up. And so that's kind of the end of the event there. As the show is ending, the girls that are still on stage, you know, at the end, so everybody perform or whatever, and then like at the very end, all of the baddies come out on stage. And so E.T. thought it was gonna be a good idea to snatch Precious' wig, and so she ended up falling. So everybody's like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? Like, so that's what closes out episode 3. And so my thoughts on episode 3 are very similar to those that I had of episode 2. It's just too much shit going on. It's too many bitches. I really don't like the fact that one person that got a lot of beefs got to line bitches up to fight them. That don't make a lot of sense to me. I think you should fight one bitch right now, and then y'all wait an hour or do some more shit, and then the other bitch comes, and then you fight her, and then, like, it feel like you just, maybe that's just me at my big age where, bitch, I need breaks in between. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just be one after one. Like, this don't feel fair, you know? So that's one discrepancy I have. But other than that, everything was just chaotic. And so, honestly, I think what they was doing, I think a lot of this shit is really just to help set up beefs that are going to emerge as we move into the season. Because a lot of these bitches ain't even mad about nothing for real. Some of the shit, I guess, online that they said is offensive or whatever. But, you know, like, half of them like each other. You can tell they like each other, but they feel like they got to fight. So I'm not mad. You can make your money. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be here and we gonna be watching. So that's all I got to say about that shit, y'all. It's your girl, the Benji B. I'm finna go find me something else to watch on TV. Bye.